Hi YouTube. It's Kia. I'm back. Sorry, it's been such a long time since I've done a video. Let me take these off. Sorry, it's been such a long time um since I've done a video and everything. Just been real crazy, busy with work, and I'm trying to get back in school. I want to go to grad school, so I've been studying, doing all that. Okay, so that's why it's been real crazy and busy for me. So I'm sorry I haven't been back, but I want to thank everyone for checking out my last video, which was entitled "If You Think There's No Good Black Men, Maybe You're the Problem." I got a lot of viewers from there, and I also got some subscribers and friends from the video. So shout out to everyone that sent me a friend request and that subscribed. Thank you very much for the support. I definitely appreciate it. And like I said again, I'm really sorry. It's just been really, really busy. But I was asked to do this video by a friend of mine. And this video is going to be entitled, "Is College Worth It?" So, of course, it took me a while because I really wanted to make sure I made... I'm sorry, I'm going to have to sit up. Ugh. But it took me a while to come up with this because I had to just make a real insightful video. I wanted to make sure I had something like cohesive and everything to say. I just want to make sure everything sounds a certain way. So that's why it took me a while to like really think about what I was going to say. You know what? Why does my hair look messed up in this video? I think I just messed this up even more, to be honest with you. Sorry. Sorry, sidebar. That was like, I just thought I messed it up. But anyway, so is college worth it? Honestly, I went to college, so I'm not going to tell someone not to educate themselves. If going to school, getting a higher education is something that's a goal of yours, I'm not going to tell you to do that. I would never tell someone not to go to college. Do I think it's pros and cons going to college? Absolutely. Definitely. One thing that I'm noticing now is a lot of jobs are requiring you to have a bachelor's degree for the position. It was positions that were normally held by people who went to high school and everything. Who just graduate high school, come out, get these type of jobs. Those jobs are now requiring bachelor's degrees. And it's like, really? Why? Why would you have a bachelor's degree and do this type of work? It just doesn't make sense. I'm not trying to down anybody that's doing that, but I'm just saying it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you spend all that money to do that? I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm doing all of my hands. But it's like, why in the world would you do that? That makes no sense to do that. That's asinine, honestly. But a lot of jobs are looking for that now. And I think the reason why they're doing that is actually trying to weed out certain people. Because a lot of people now have bachelor degrees and they're saying, oh, that's what we're looking for. We want people who have bachelor degrees. And honestly, is that they're just really trying to knock people off. Be like, oh, you don't have a bachelor degree? Okay, you're not being considered. Next. You don't have it either? Okay, next. Like, I think that's basically what they're doing. And also now, too, like, my employer, I've actually seen where they're actually looking for MBAs now from a top-tier school. So now the competition's even getting more difficult. Whereas before you would just, okay, well, I live in New Jersey. So basically you would go to like a Rutgers. Oh, I'm sorry, not Rutgers, because Rutgers is considered a top-tier school. But you would go to maybe like Montclair or King University, you know, schools like that. If anyone's familiar with those schools, then you know what I mean. Not that they're low class in any way, but compare them to like a Rutgers or a Seton Hall, they're considered low tier. And now they're looking for people who are in high tier. And now in my mind, I'm like, really? That's going to keep a lot of people out of certain positions. Because now they're going to feel like, well, I went somewhere where I could afford to go. I could afford the money and everything. And now you're trying to basically tell me that my degree is worthless because now that's not what you want. You want something from a higher tier. Like, who is supposed to pay for that? Those higher tier schools are very expensive. So, do I think college is overrated? I think is a better question. Absolutely. Because a lot of stuff that I have actually learned, I've learned more stuff since I've been out of college and in college. But I will say this though, having a college degree has helped me in getting jobs and has helped me in getting interviews because honestly, I can tell you a lot of stuff that I have done. Like I interned at an accounting firm, and this is when I had got out of school. Yes, I was as interning because I was having a hard time looking for a job. And I interned with an accounting firm. My background is I got my undergrad in marketing, so my degree definitely helped a lot. It helped a whole lot. So, if I didn't have a degree, I definitely wouldn't have got in there. But that's the thing. So I would say college is more so of a necessary evil. Like you really can't. Unfortunately, you really can't do too much. I mean, unless you're doing something specialized where you're just being like an auto mechanic, a plumber, electrician, or a beautician, or a barber, things like that. You just get a certification and you'll be fine. But other than that, really, or if you're in civil service, if you're like a police officer or a firefighter, things like that. But other than that, really, like you really can't do too much, honestly, without a college degree, unfortunately. To me, it's really silly. Like I said, it's a lot of jobs now where normally you would get right out of high school that's asking for a bachelor's degree, and you're like, what? Why? Are you gonna pay me more? Like, not to be funny, but it's just like, why in the world would I want to go spend all this money on a degree to do this when I could have just graduated high school and done it and saved myself the debt? It just doesn't make sense. But unfortunately, like I said, it's just a lot of places are now looking for these things, unfortunately. So it's a necessary evil. So if it's worth it, that's really a question that you would have to answer. It would really be based on what you're really trying to do. And don't pick a major based on what your family wants you to do, or what your friends want you to do, or what you're reading about. Stick to really what's your passion. My best advice to people would be to go in undecided. Those first 2 years are general education courses anyway, and you're not going to get into your major courses until junior year. So spend those first 2 years just really figuring out what you want to do. General education courses give you a little bit of everything. It takes you from liberal arts, social science and humanities, to business side. So then it's where you can kind of figure out what exactly are you trying to do. So then this way, you can really decide instead of you coming in and saying, okay, definitively, this is what I'm going to do, and then change halfway, and now you got to go to school another year or two when you were supposed to have graduated already. So that would be my advice to people, to do it that way. And then you know what, too? College is not for everybody. So if you feel that you want to go to a trade school, by all means do that. There's nothing wrong with going to a trade school. Nothing wrong with learning a trade. Nothing wrong with that at all. If college is not your thing, that's fine. You can educate yourself in other ways besides going to college. College does not mean you're more educated than anyone else. All it means is that you went to a school to learn a particular topic and you finished in 4 years and you graduated. That's basically it. If you even learned, because I know quite a few people that have went through college and couldn't tell you what they learned because they were too busy partying and doing the shenanigans they shouldn't have been doing. But it's really basically up to you. So you really honestly have to make the decision to yourself, is it worth it? But I can honestly say for me, it was worth it for me. With me, what I did was I knew my parents couldn't afford for me to go to a very expensive school. So what I ended up doing, well, at first the school I initially wanted to go to was a little pricey, and my parents basically were like, "No, we can't do that." So I actually had another choice to school that I went to, and that school was a state school, so the tuition was definitely much cheaper. I got financial aid. I got an EOF program, went through that, and then I also worked. So, my parents had paid into it as well, but I worked and I was able to help out with that too. And then I got other scholarships and I got scholarships, I got some grants. So, luckily for me, I was very blessed. I came out of school and I didn't have a lot of debt like a lot of other people that I know unfortunately had. So that's another thing too. If you're going to decide that you do want to go to college, I would definitely suggest staying in state. I know going out of state is a great thing, and I really honestly too wish I would have went out of state because that's something I really wanted to do. But you really have to live within your means. If you know truly without a shadow of a doubt you will not be able to afford it, trust me, don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to go through all that debt. Because guess what? When it comes later on down the road, when you're looking to get a car or get a house or whatever you want to do, that debt is still going to follow you. And you're gonna have a very hard time getting good rates for anything. Because everyone sees, you got 50, 40,000 worth of debt. Guess what? Your interest rates are gonna be like 26% or 30 or maybe even higher. Just because. So I would definitely highly, highly, truly recommend staying in state. Try to get as much financial aid as you can. Definitely sign up for these grants. There's a lot of grants out there. I mean, sometimes they may want you to just do little things like maybe a poem, a poster, or write an essay. I know it seems like it's extra work, but trust me, just do it. You're going to get the money. You're going to be able to pay for school, and you don't have to worry about going into debt. It's much better. Another reason why I'm a big advocate of in-state schools is because they're funded by the state. So their tuition costs are much cheaper than, of course, going out of state and in another school that's considered really high tier. So definitely look into that. Another thing you could also do, too, is you can go to community college for 2 years and then transfer. That'll definitely save you a lot of money too, because community colleges, they're definitely much cheaper. So, I mean, it's other options. Like I said, you can still do the trade school. There's a lot of different alternatives, but just do your research into whatever you're really trying to go into and make sure the field you're going into, that you're actually getting the education that you need for it. So if you really don't need a degree and all you need is like a certification, then just do that. Just make sure you do your research. But the question of, is it worth it? It was worth it for me. It may not be worth it for you, but that's something you honestly have to answer for yourself. And you have to look into it and see if it's really for you. So that's my advice on that. So I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.